Good evening. Hello, everybody. It is Valentine's Eve. And as I promised you all, I was going to bake you or us, for my husband and I, a Valentine's treat. But I was going to share the recipe with you guys because when I was diagnosed with cancer, hey, everybody, when I was diagnosed with cancer, there were certain things that I learned to substitute, right? And so I told my husband one time that I was craving um, brownies. And brownies was something that I would make every year for New Year's to bring in the New Year's. I would always have a pan of brownies in the house to bring in New Year's for whatever reason. And my husband's up watching some comedy. And so it's actually about 7 minutes after 11 o'clock. But I really wanted to get this done because tomorrow I'll just upload the episode and say good morning, happy Valentine's to everybody out there. Whether you're married, whether you're single, I'm going to give you all some Valentine's tips that I learned in the 34 years that I've been married. But when I was diagnosed with cancer and I was craving brownies, my husband found a recipe online and he made me some black bean brownies. They're actually, instead of made with um, white flour, because he knew that I couldn't have the white flour. So our base tonight is black beans. And so I double the recipe. And so they've already been rinsed and they're in the processor. And so this is my first time using a processor. I normally just blend everything up, but I tried to follow the recipe as closely as I could. So we're going to get started because this actually takes an hour to prep, make, bake, and then I'm going to do my favorite, which is cream cheese icing with sweetened with maple syrup. So, guys, let's get started. I know you're like, oh my gosh, she's not juicing now, she's going into baking. But I wanted to tell y'all, for the married ladies out there, and even for the single ladies, when I married my husband and we met on a blind date. So, since it's Valentine's, I'm going to share my story. June 1st, we got married of 1988. But what happened was I had turned from God, right? And so the Spirit of God came to me in, let's see, December of 1987. And he said, you need to come back home. Come back home meant come back to God, walk with him, and learn his ways. And I said, God, I can't do single and saved. For the adults out there, if you know what I mean. No, I wanted to be married if I was going to serve God. I just needed that. I didn't want to come back to him and backslide or be in and out with God, not with the church, but in and out with God. And I wanted a serious relationship with him because I knew that there was more to him than what I was experiencing. So he said, tell me what you want. So I wrote out my list, and my friends have heard this story, but you haven't heard the story. So I wrote out my list, and my husband knows the story as well. And what I wanted. And I wanted somebody to love me for me. I wanted him to be tall. He's 6'4", and I wanted him to be tall. I wanted him to love me for me, and I wanted him to have hair on his face. I didn't ask for anything else because I didn't know to ask for anything else. So God gave me exactly what I asked for. How did he do that? I was managing a bridal shop. A young lady came in the store and she said, I'm sorry to keep you from your family. I said, I have a son, but I'm not married. My son was 10 at the time. And and so she said, I have the perfect man for you. And I was like, okay. She called him. And oh my gosh, if he won't come in here, because I asked him, did he want to make the brownies with me tonight? His voice is so deep, like Barry White deep. Honey, because if he could even come to the camera and talk and you don't have to see his face, because I know he's not going to come in here. He has his headphones on so he can't hear me. But his voice was so deep over the phone, and I was like, oh my gosh. So we agreed to meet at a fashion show, not knowing that my husband is just a good old boy, motorcycle rider, just laid back, just a very nice guy. He didn't come to the fashion show. So when she came back for her fitting, she said, did he call you? And I said, did y'all meet? And I said, no. She said, let me call him right now. And he's really the perfect guy for you. So we decided to meet at the skating rink. He had a son who was 5 years old, and he was taking care of his mom. Go figure. Nice guy all around. Had custody of his son, was taking care of his mother. I had my son. And so we met at the skating rink. And from that day to this, we met February 1st, 1988. We were married June 1st, 1988. We've been married 34 years, and we have never been separated in all that time where I was angry with him. Now, yeah, I've been angry with him. He's been angry with me. But two things that we said to each other, and he laid the ground rules out. He said, if you ever leave me, don't think I'm going to come looking for you. And I knew he meant it because he's a man of his word. But the other thing that he said, I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect for you. And I agreed. And I even agreed to the rules. But because we had such a short dating period, there were things about his personality or his standards of living that I didn't know. Now, mind you, we got married February 1st, met, married June 1st. So our courtship time was very short. So I really didn't know a lot about his personalities, his quirky ways. He didn't know about my quirky ways. But one of the things that I found out, he didn't believe in Valentine's. He doesn't believe in Mother's Day. Now, for all of you out there that are going through a lot of changes, taking your boyfriend or your husband or even yourself, you're taking yourself through a lot of changes about this holiday that actually really it helps the retail industry increase sales. It helps the floral industry, it helps the candy industry. It just helps retail. It helps retailers to make money if we're being honest. But for those of us who are wrapped up in romance and we like that, I'm just telling y'all my story and how I had to adjust myself to keep peace in my home. So, what I did, and you can go to the description box when you watch this video. I ordered my husband and I. This is my gift to us. So I ordered us, and look at this, guys. Instead of getting a box of chocolates, this is a part of gourmet. This is a box of gourmet nuts. So I haven't opened it yet because it's not Valentine's. But I'll show it to y'all maybe on Wednesday when I do the show. But I ordered this. It's a box of different types of nuts in here. So it's in the description box. You can order some for yourself. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's. And then when I went to the store to get the black beans tonight, the store, look at that beautiful bouquet. It really was two sets of flowers. So my oldest sister gave me this beautiful vase years ago, and I thought I'm going to put my flowers in there. Well, who bought the flowers? I bought the flowers for me because I like having flowers for Valentine's. My husband is not going to do that because he doesn't believe in this particular day. And why does he not? Because he says, I do for you all year. So why do I have to have somebody to tell me a special day to celebrate you? And so when I found that out, I thought, you know what? He's right. And I'm not going to be so toxic in my thinking that he has to do this. And I'm going to have an attitude all day. So that's why I've been married for 34 years. Now, I don't know about you and the problems that you may have in your house, but I'm telling you, don't go through a lot of changes. Just buy it for yourself and be happy that y'all are still together because this is only one day. Is that good? Then the other thing, I was watching a couple show and they had a young lady who was giving marital advice and she was single. And I thought, really? Okay. So the question came up, what do you do about your husband or your wife that squeezes the toothpaste in the middle of the tube? And I thought, wow, they are really tripping. And so this young girl who was fresh out of college with her degree in psychology or psychiatry, whatever it was, she's going to give them the advice, well, then y'all need to learn to share and y'all need to learn to work together with this one tube. And I started laughing when I heard her. And this is what the Holy Spirit told me: buy 2 tubes of toothpaste. If he likes to squeeze his in the middle, then let him. And if you like rolling it up, then that's what you do. You see? That's why I love God, because he keeps peace in your home. Now let me tell you, we didn't start out like this. The first year that he brought me something, and I was like, oh my God, is that it? Because I had all of these ideas that I got off of TV and off of movies, that he's going to come in on the white horse with the flowers and the sword and all of this candy and rose petals. No, no, no. You have to learn how to adjust yourself to your mate, and they will adjust themselves. It's just a little balance. And when you get your rhythm in that, it's very peaceful. So I'm going to make these brownies because I'm already going on 11 minutes. But I thought I would share my Valentine story with my Valentines. And guess what? He's inside with me. He may not be standing here in the kitchen with me. I don't have to prove anything. 34 years, that's proof enough. So I'm excited because I'm going to fix something that he did make for me when I was diagnosed with cancer, because I was craving brownies. And so I have the recipe, I have everything all measured out for us. And I guess that's why I could take up 11 minutes. So now, these are called black bean brownies, and I got it off of online. And the lady's name is Chocolate Covered Katie. And so that's her website. So just if you want to, because I needed the black bean brownies that had um, the oatmeal in it, because it helps to just thicken it up a little bit. These one recipe was kind of fudgy like, and I like mine to have a cakey type of consistency. So here we go, y'all. It calls for, and I hope I got all my ingredients out. Okay, so it calls for, and I double the recipe because we love this. We love these brownies. Now, I will say to you all that if you deal with a little bit of constipation, make sure that you add your blackberries on the side, or your raspberries on the side, or some grapes, or I even have some strawberries waiting for me because of the way that I'm going to present them to him, because they will be finished after midnight. So we'll just do our Valentine's celebration. And ladies and gentlemen, don't sweat it. Be honest in your relationships with each other, because that's the best way to be. If that's not something that you like to do, it's not something that you ever celebrated, then give people a break about it. Don't go out and just do something special. Make some black bean brownies. Get a new recipe and y'all bake it together. But I have this is called a ninja thing, because I didn't want to use my food processor because I don't use it that much, and it probably would have taken me a little bit more time to do it. So now these beans, they are really tight in here, and they smell too. But I have my little spatula here, my spoon, and I am going to try to move as quickly as possible because I do have my blender here too to get all of this all mixed up. So I'm going to get that off of there so you see that. It just looks like chocolate. And that's kind of neat to me, that when he made this, I was like, oh my God. And I'm going to tell you, my sons love these brownies too. So they must not be too bad. But I think when we first moved in our new home, I'm going to rinse that off so that, yeah, so the beans won't stick to that part. So this is what the beans look like blended up already, because I told y'all I'm all prepped for y'all. So here we are. I'm scooping those beans out. Already look like brownies, don't they? They don't smell like brownies, but they look like them. So I'm going to scoop all of that out. And they're pretty moist. I already rinsed them off. And these are the Bush's beans, Bush's black beans. I don't mind telling y'all brand names so that when you go in the store, they are, I'm going to tell y'all though, they're really good, and they really, really, really do taste like brownies. And Chocolate Covered Katie says whenever she served them, she don't always tell people what they are. And when they eat them, then she'll tell them. My mom used to do that to us too, with liver. But we're doing it with black beans. All right. I'm so excited to do this because, you know, sometimes juicing for us can get pretty redundant. And I think y'all needed a break to know this is this all that she does? Does she just eat? I mean, does she just eat 100% clean? I told y'all I eat 90% clean, but this is a really clean dish. So now that is 3 cups of black beans or 1.5 cups, because the recipe calls for a 15-ounce can. So that's just a small can. And so, like I said, I've already rinsed it. Now, the next item is 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Well, I don't use cocoa powder. I use cacao powder because it is 100% chocolate. And so it's better for you. And you know what? This is an antioxidant, guys. And yeah. So here it is. Here is the cacao. I have it. And so I want a fork because that'll break this up a little bit before I put it in. So I'm going to just mix that up. This reminds me of home ec. I don't know if you all did in school, went to home ec class. That was my favorite part of home ec when we were cooking. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't know if Miss Lively is still alive. I know Miss Tyson, who taught me how to sew. She's not, she's since passed, but I learned how to sew from her, and I never took any other sewing. Miss Tyson was amazing. She didn't even need a pattern. Okay, so we've done the cacao powder, and now it says that I need a cup of oats. So that's already out, so I'm going to pour that in because we really need to move on. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Aha. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, dumping that in. Then it says I need a 1/3 cup of maple syrup, or if I want it to be really sweet, to use a full, a 1/2 cup, but of course I double the recipe. So that's a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. And let me see, where's my maple syrup? Here. I use all of my maple syrup from this brand, but that's my maple syrup. I love maple syrup. Now, now there is a difference between maple syrup, and I need to get all of that out, guys. There is a difference between maple syrup and the other syrups, and you've got to know it says 100% maple syrup. Be careful and look on the ingredients on the back of your container with your maple syrup. Haha, we're done with that. Putting all of that over there. And then let's see, maple syrup. I can put stevia, and I do have my stevia out. There's my stevia box. This is actually natural sugar that's made from a plant, and they just freeze dry it and put it in. Now, I like it a little sweet, so I'm going to sprinkle 1 packet of the stevia, okay, in there. Whew. 1/4 cup of coconut oil or vegetable oil. Now, I got coconut oil, and you know what I found out? So I had to double it, so that's a 1/2 cup. And I have melted it, and look at that. Yay! And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla, but I doubled it. So that's 4 teaspoons of vanilla flavor. And that's my vanilla flavor there, guys. And let's see what else. A 1/2 teaspoon, which I would need a 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and that's all the ingredients that go in here. And so I'm going to start stirring this up. Yum. And I'm going to let y'all look at it too when it's done. And you're going to say, wow, that really does look like. I'm going to cut it up because I really don't even need my blender for it. That looks really, really good. And so I'm going to add, though, because we like nuts in our brownies, and it just makes them taste so good. But I'm going to let y'all see this, and then I'm going to taste it because, you know what? And it doesn't have eggs in it. Now, I think I probably put eggs in it the last time, but I'm going to follow her recipe because I believe that this is the same recipe that my honey cooked his with. And so when we moved, we misplaced a lot of things because sometimes he'll come in the kitchen and he'll say, where is this or where is that? And he doesn't. I don't remember where I put stuff sometimes because we moved from 1,200 square feet to 3,700, and my kitchen is almost like 4 times the size of my other kitchen at the other house. So can you imagine? So I'm going to taste that and see. That's good. I'm missing something. Black beans, cocoa powder, quick oats, salt, maple syrup, stevia, coconut oil, vanilla, baking powder, and that's it. Y'all know what? It's really not sweet enough for me. So I am going to have to add I think I'm going to add one more pack of stevia. How about that? Mm-hmm. All right, and then I'm going to show it to you once I stir it up, and you're going to be amazed. But what I'm going to do, and you have to put it in a greased pan. And we are at 20 minutes, and it says that it takes, how long does it take for this to cook? It makes 9 to 12 brownies, 350 for 15 to 18 minutes. So then that's a lot of talking for me to do for 15 to 18 minutes, but y'all know I can do it, right? So I'm going to let y'all see. So I've already greased my pan, and look at this, guys. Should I come? No, I think, let me move all of this stuff over. I know I have a big old mess here today, but I'm going to pour it out. Yay. Look at that. Looks just like brownies, doesn't it? It really is brownies. Well, it's the kind of brownies that I can have. I love how people are so wise that they've learned how to substitute dishes and things that they love, and especially for people who have cancer, or there's certain things that you just can't eat anymore. But I'm gonna tell you what I do with mine, because when my boys were in school, and you had to go over on to be in the classroom, you're the parent or you're the mom for the kids for that day, and I would always take a pan of brownies. This was before I was diagnosed with cancer, and I would add cream cheese and put green food coloring in it, and then swirl it into the brownie. Now, see, mmm, mmm, that's that other pack of stevia made it just the way I like it. Now look at this. So just think, if I hadn't doubled the recipe, what this would taste like, right? I mean, how much it would be. It wouldn't have been enough, because my husband and I both, we're pretty big eaters. Once I spread it out in the pan, I'm going to bring it to the camera and let y'all see it. I want y'all to know that I have more fun just doing these shows with you all. But I want y'all to know that you can have fun, you can eat, you can have your juice, and you know what? You're also killing antioxidants, even with this recipe here. And then we got our oats. So now I'm gonna eat the rest of that because that looks yummy. Watch this. And that's my brownies. So I'm gonna go on and cook those. I'm gonna put them in the oven. And I have some cream cheese over here on top of my handle, because I'm going to make an icing for the brownies. Now, what I need to do, I'm going to put the timer on these. Let's see. Cooking time. Cooking time. We need 15 minutes. And there we are. So we're at 15 minutes. And it's on. So now, the next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to get my small bowl here, so that as that's doing, but I'm telling y'all, this is so good. It really tastes like brownies. I wouldn't lie to you. And especially when you can't have white flour, it really truly tastes like brownies. I'm not lying to you. It's so yummy. So, I wish he didn't have his earphones on so y'all could hear how deep his voice is. I know the guys are like, I don't care to hear how deep his voice is. Okay. So now, we're going to do this, and this is my favorite thing. I'm going to rinse this off because I really like using that. I've never used that thing before, but I actually think it came with my Ninja processor. I've been at work today. I had a really good day today. I had to make 8 cushions for a client, and I tell you what, we got it done. That's how we do. We have to get it done. Okay, so now this I had not prepped for because I wanted to show y'all how I do this. Only because a lot of people don't think you can have cream cheese. Well, I eat cream cheese. My favorite dessert before I was diagnosed with cancer was German chocolate cake. The base of it with cream cheese icing. You're talking about an amazing combination. So I can still have the cream cheese. I just sweeten it differently. Okay. So let me sit this over here. So I'm going to do 2 packs, and I'm going to chop that up a little bit because it is still a little bit hard. All right. It's the same way. You take this and you do it the same way that you would your, and I hope I have enough maple syrup, but I'm sure I might have another jar of maple syrup in the cabinet. I try to keep all of the ingredients when here, especially for dessert, because I don't make desserts that often. It's not something, but it is Valentine's, and I did tell y'all I would try to do it. And y'all know what? We're only at 26 minutes. Isn't that amazing? Because I do want y'all to see the brownies. All right. So that cream cheese, I don't know how long that one's been in the refrigerator. Might have been in there since Christmas. Who knows? I know y'all like that lady is just freaking out. But anyway, so I will check that package though. What is the date? Expiration. Ooh, I won't even tell y'all what the expiration date on that says, but we're going to use it anyway. How about that? Yeah, because it's kind of, yeah, it's still some good. All right, so this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in there. Ta-da! A little bit. So that's about 2 teaspoons full. And then I'm going to add the rest of my maple syrup. And I may need some more of that. But the star ingredient in this is actually fresh squeezed lemon. And y'all know the lemon is an alkaline-rich food, antioxidant-rich food. Lemon raises your pH. And I have just a little bit left in this container. Mm-hmm. Man, those brownies are good. And there's some down in that pan, too. I'm going to get a lemon out of the refrigerator. Oh, and I have one already sliced up, too. That's fine. Did y'all drink y'all ginger lemon water today? I hope y'all did. And so here I am now. I'm going to squeeze. See that? Let me put my hand in there so no seeds will come out. But I'm going to squeeze that lemon juice in there. That gives it such a nice, ooh, it gives it a really, really nice flavor in there. So I think I'm going to use the blender for this. I see a seed popped out. I'm going to put all my trash over there. And so I already have, and you know what? I'm going to have to sprinkle my nuts on top because I didn't put the nuts in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use the blender for this one, okay? And I think I'm plugged in. Yeah. And you just blend it until it's like frosting. I'm going to see what else I need. You know what? I think that I need to find me some, either I'm going to have to put some honey If I don't have any more maple syrup up here, I'm going to come off the camera for a second, and I'm going to see if I have any more honey. I know any more maple syrup. I know I have plenty of honey. And honey, I've never tried this recipe with honey. So let me see, honey, if I have some more honey. I have a lot of stuff up here. I don't have any maple syrup. I even have some tahini. No, I had tahini. Well, you know what? I'm going to pull out my beans. Something else I probably could do to sweeten it. And I'm sorry, I'm off of the camera, guys, because I'm still looking to see if I have any more maple syrup around here. I do not. Wasn't prepared for that one. But I am going to put some bees honey. Here we are, the ones. That's on the, that is actually on in the description box and in the link. And so I like sweet. I'm not going to put stevia in this, I don't think, but I am going to put probably a half a cup of honey in there. And let's see what the honey does. Maple syrup just gives it a nice earthy flavor to me. Ooh, now looky. Whoa, I'm making a mess. I need to turn that down some. Ooh, that's nice and creamy. I'm going to turn it up to the camera in a minute so y'all can see it. Once I get all of that blended in. Let's see. Mmm. Okay. I never tried it with the honey, but it's just as good with the honey. All right now. Okay, guys, look at that. See that icing? And so that's cream cheese, and that's going on the brownies. And we're at 32 minutes. And look at that. According to the timer on the stove, we have another 7 minutes before the brownies are ready. So I'm going to keep blending this up to make it nice. Get all of the cream cheese down in there. And what I do like about it is not that I don't like eggs. I love eggs. But I just want y'all to see how that actually whipped up. Almost like you see it? Like meringue. See that? Yeah, the honey gave it a nice consistency. Well, we'll be using honey from now on. And I have gotten icing all over my apron. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up so that when the brownies get ready, or I'm going to put everything over there. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is really, really nice. As y'all can see, I don't throw away stuff. If my oldest son were here, he would say, "Ma, that package has expired." Didn't expire to me. That is really good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a spoon of this, and I'm going to use my other finger because I know y'all are saying, wow, she keeps double dipping. And then I'm going to put it on the raw black beans. Such a nice combination. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my light on so I can look at it. I wish y'all could smell in here because it smells like brownies cooking. Again, for the coconut oil, I use the Bronner's virgin coconut oil, Dr. Bronner's. It's really, really good. And I melt it. And so that it can, be in liquid form when I use it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start cleaning up while we wait for the brownies to get ready because we do have our icing ready. And once I clean up a little bit over here, then what I can do is go ahead and slice my strawberries. And I am going to, I'm loving it because we're at 34 minutes. Can you believe it? That's amazing to me that we are not into an hour yet, but we are getting there. And happy Valentine's again to you guys. I'm going to go off camera for a second. But I'm so happy for everybody that's alive to celebrate, because you can always find something to be happy about. You don't, when you're toxic, man, you're upset about everything. You didn't give me anything for Valentine's. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. But what about the fact that they asked you to marry them or asked you to date them? And even for the single people that you don't have anybody right now in your life, celebrate yourself. I was single before. Celebrate you. Go get your flowers. I'm telling you what, the Food Lion in my area, I know they had like 300 dozens of floral arrangements. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I could have brought all of them home. But this was enough for me. And my husband, he just looked at me like, okay, yeah. Because it's him paying other things that enables me to buy myself stuff. See? It's all in perspective. You drink, you do your juicing, get the toxicity off of you, and you just be happy. Who wants to be upset all the time? I know I don't. I didn't like it. Now, mind you, I can get upset, but who wants to be like that all the time, right? Nobody. I'm excited, so I'm gonna get the strawberries. I already rinsed them off. Always have to clean up. Yes, I'm running my water. I really don't want to throw this pan away because I want to eat this. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. That's really good. And guys, you know what? It cleans up a little bit easier than flour too. So what I'm going to talk about now is really nothing. I'm going to run that water in that pan. I do have to get my kitchen cleaned up. But I am so grateful to you guys for watching the program, coming out, the response that I got from Rock Church with the pastors Lassiter's. It really blessed my heart. And the people were so excited. And we're going to do something else with them in days to come, because they really, really, really enjoyed the message that the Lord brought to their congregation. And that's a testament to them of how much they care about the people in their church, you know? Yeah. And I want to say something too. A lot of times I find myself giving my opinion about something, and I'm not always right. And especially, when you have an opinion about something, run those opinions by our Father. Just ask him, what do you think about that? And you might be surprised at how he perceives a thing. Because you know what? He can see the full picture when we can't. Where sometimes we want to cut people off or back them out of our lives. But this is what he told me. He said, let people serve their purpose in your life. And just because you don't agree with them and they don't agree with you, listen, did y'all hear that? That's the Brownies. They're ready. So I'm going to cut this off and I am going to take them out. Oh my goodness. They are showing off today. And I wanted to tell y'all too, but let people serve their purpose in your life. We may have somebody in our life that we don't agree with. As long as they're not doing anything that's detrimental to you, what if you overlook somebody or you don't like that person because they are too weird, or I don't understand them, or whatever your opinion may be. But what if they have a gifting or strength that you don't have and you really need them, but you disregard them, you disqualify them as being important enough to be in your life? That's a dangerous thing, because you never know. And this is what the Lord told me. He said Judas served a purpose, and he actually was in the purpose of God. And if you go into the book of Acts, they had to find somebody to take Judas' place, because after While Jesus was in the tomb, he had already ordained Judas to be a bishop. So see, we discount people because we don't really know the full counsel of God. So I want to encourage you to be prayerful about people. Now, yeah, if they're abusive or they're doing something that's so negative in your life that's just causing you pain, then you have to pray about that. But I'm just talking about people who they think a little different, or they act a little different, or their behavior may be a little bit different from yours. What are you going to do? Disregard everybody? Because you know what that means? To me, that means that we might think a little bit more highly of ourselves than we ought to. I'm going to go off camera for a second, okay? I'm putting my food away. But we need to stop that, because when I was toxic, man, did I have an opinion about a lot of stuff, and I still do. But I've learned, you know what? Give people a chance, because somebody gave me a chance. My customers give me a chance every day. A lot of times, products they'll ask me to make, and I don't know how to make them, but I ask the Father, and He shows me what to do. So, guys, I have to take this off. Let's see. When my children were small, and I know y'all dealt with the same thing. Children love licking the blender blades, don't they? It's always something yummy on the end of the blender blades. So we have strawberries, and I don't have too many because in my home I have my refrigerator from my other house, and I have my refrigerator that came with this house. And my refrigerator at my other house was much, much newer than this one. And the one in the new house, things go bad quicker. I'm going to put my little Trivet up there because I don't know temperature wise. Don't want to put something hot. I'm excited about the brownies, guys. And so, for me, now over in one corner, but you see, and they're still soft, so they have to cool down. Now, for me, I like just scooping it out, but they do have to cool down because they have to harden. I love that. And you can see they're starting to cool. And we only have a few more minutes. That is yummy. And I'm going to bring the pan up to y'all so you can see. And I hope it doesn't move. It's not going to move. Yeah, it is moving. See that? And it's a pan of brownies, but it's made with black beans. So I am going to let that cool. And you know what? We may have to do another show so that y'all can see. But I may just take some out. And I know that they're going to be a little runny. But I don't mind that. My husband and I will eat them. But once they cool down, and I will tell y'all this too. They have to stay in the refrigerator or they will go bad. They'll mold because it's actually beans. So I'm going to not use a knife to cut because I already know, because I'm rushing this. My husband is funny. He has such a big laugh. And I know some of y'all are saying, they're not done. No, they have to cool down. Okay? If y'all can see that. But I'm going to cut one. And I'm going to pull it out. And they do have to harden because all those ingredients just had to cook. So what do beans do? All right? So I'm going to just take a small piece of that. And I know y'all are like, let it cool down. For time restraints. And I'll probably put them back in the oven when I go off the air and let them get a little bit harder. But I'm just going to scoop some out. It's almost like a little fudge because I want to plate it. It's nice and hot. I am going to put them back in. So you could see some of it hardening. Just needed to cook a little bit longer. And I'm okay with it because I'm going to put them back in. Let me cut my oven on. And while they finish baking, I'm going to sit in the other room with my husband, but I am going to plate it for you all. And then, yep. So that was 15 minutes. The recipe called for 18, but I did double it. So duh, it does have to cook a little bit longer. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to put, yum, yum. So I'm going to put that cream cheese there on the side. Because my husband's going to say, that's fine, honey. He's just an easygoing guy. He's a nice guy. I'm going to get another knife. And let's see. Yeah. Rinse my finger off. So what I was going to do for my hubby tonight. So there. I'm not one for plating up food too good. But there we have it. So now we have our little brownie dish. Well, my finger's in the way. But there's the brownie there because it has to cook for 15 more minutes. And then our cream cheese icing with our strawberries. So you know what? I'm going to get me a spoon and I'm going to taste it for you all because I already know once those brownies get right, and see, it's already starting to hard. But look at that. We're getting our strawberries. We're getting our fruit, which is an antioxidant. The chocolate and the black beans are an antioxidant. Those beans are full of fiber. And so let's see what this tastes like. I like it. It's really good. But don't forget, if you double up on your recipe, then you have to let the brownies cook a little bit longer. Tilt, tilt. So guys, happy Valentine's Day to you. And the combination of the chocolate and the strawberries is really, really, really good. I'm going to tell y'all again. You know, this is supposed to be a lover's day or whatever. Love yourself. Love yourself first, and then you really have something to give to somebody else. So I wanted to show y'all. This is what I got for my hubby and I for our Valentine's gift. And that's what it is. See? Look at that. For your sweetie. Be your sweetheart to your own self. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Have a great day. Learn to love on yourself. Because when you love yourself, it'll be so much easier for you to love other people. Give other people a chance. You know, they may be wanting you to be the one to make them feel good about themselves. So guys, love yourself. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless you all. Bye.